I'm tearing up my heart when I'm with you.
Is that Backstreet Boys?
Welcome to New Game Plus. This is a retro gaming podcast where three guys spend 7 days and then we talk about it. Nope.
Whoa.
That's
What?
twice I've messed up.
Just
recently.
keep rolling.
Oh, well, sure, I will. We are a retro gaming podcast.
Correct.
And there's three of us.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
for 7 days, we play one old game.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then what do?
We talk
me hear
about
you.
it.
My name's Dustin.
My name is Kenny.
Nolan.
And this is episode 517. And the question of the week is, what is your favorite video game pet? Before you answer, can I tell you what your answers are going to be?
You
Sure.
can, so I can laugh at you.
Okay.
You'll get mine partially correct.
Okay. I would love to get them both wrong, but here we go. Nolan, yours is Epona, and Kenny, yours is Cerberus from Hades. All right, go
Kenny's
ahead.
might be right.
I don't think either of mine are right. Kenny?
So I've got a pair of frogs in Path of Exile that I'm quite fond of.
He
Is he
does.
playing Path of?
I
Is that
can
him
vouch
telling
for
you that he's
him.
playing again?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
definitely not playing.
I'm not sure why I got them originally. Like it was a random chest open, or I had like some leftover currency, and that was like the cheapest thing you could buy in the game, or something. But now I take them with me all the time. I transfer them from character to character anytime I play, and I always keep them summoned, and I name all of my characters after them.
His character names, Dustin, are like two frogs something every time. I get confused every time. I don't know which character he's on.
Yeah.
Is this his real answer, though?
He's dead
I mean,
serious.
it's,
I can
it's
tell.
half of my real answer.
He's
The
not
other half,
lying.
the other half is closer to what you were thinking, because outside of that, you could just say any game that has a dog, like all of them. I'm a sucker for the pups, and I guess a 3-headed one is 3 times as good as a normal-headed one, but I didn't call him out specifically, so
But
I don't know. You were
don't-
like a little bit right.
Don't pet him if he don't want you to be. If you don't want you petting him,
That's
No,
for any
but that's how the dogs work.
He'll bite your head off.
So the other guys from PoE, did you say turtle or frog?
Frogs.
They're frogs.
Then does Phrenos not do anything for you in
Oh.
Hades 2?
No. Every once in a while, Phrenos will take a curse from me, and I'll be like, bro. But
Wow, weird.
outside of that, there's way
Phrenos
better
is the
pets
best.
in. No, he is not the best in that game, let alone
ferret?
ever. The ferret
Yeah.
might actually be my answer overall. I forgot that he existed. He's
Gale?
top tier.
Yeah,
Yep.
so good. Nolan, I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
'Kay.
Do you want to know my answer?
Or just
Chaos
settle it
from
if I'm wrong.
Sonic Advance 2.
What? Why?
Listen, what you wanted me to say dog meat from Fallout?
No, he
I wanted
wanted
you to say Epona.
Epona.
Well, you should know I'm not that vanilla. And I want people to understand that. And there's probably 5 people that heard that and went, whoa, he knows what he's talking about. Because in this Game Boy Advance game, it's a Sonic game, like what you would expect, but there's a mode called the KO Garden.
You raise little guys. Yeah.
You raise little cute alien things that, like Tamagotchi style. You get the egg in the stage, bring it there, hatch the egg, feed it, buy items for it in the store for it to play with so its skills go up. Listen, pay attention, because this next part, you get your link cable, right, and attach your GBA to your GameCube and transfer him to Sonic Adventure 2, Battle Adventure 2, or in my case, DX. And then they're in that game, and this is where it gets insane. You can race them against other KOs.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've got a hot take, but I don't know if we're done talking about your KOs yet, and I don't want to take a hard left turn here. So what else do you have to say
No, I think
about
we're
these
done
little guys?
talking. We're done talking about.
You want
his
the hard
KOs.
left turn? Okay. Dustin, I think I know yours, and
You're probably
I
right.
disagree with it beforehand.
Because you don't think.
I don't.
Right.
Which is why, but I knew that you thought because of what you said for Nolan's. Can we just have a whole conversation via innuendo and then?
Nolan can settle it after you say
Yeah.
it if it's correct.
Okay. Horses are not pets.
Okay.
And
False.
Dustin's favorite pet is Agro, the horse from Shadow of the Colossus.
That's
Argo.
a good guess. That's not his answer, but that's a good
It's
guess.
interesting. I thought you were going the right way, and then you took a hard right turn. Right would be correct. You took a hard
Another left.
turn. Another left turn. You're back at where you started.
Okay.
No, I don't know if y'all I hate that guy. I hated that guy. That horse was awful, and
Why?
I
'Cause
was
he doesn't
glad
Listen.
how the game. Yeah, he doesn't. It's really bad. I thought you were going to say dinosaurs aren't pets. Pets.
I mean, dinosaurs also probably shouldn't be pets, but the odds of them becoming a pet as a category are
Right.
actually higher than horses for me.
Oh wow, Yoshi.
Oh.
Is he?
Oh, see,
I don't know if that
whoa,
one
whoa.
specifically is. I don't
He
know
ain't
if
a pet, bro.
Maybe. I don't think he
What
is.
is he? He's not a party
He
member.
is
I mean,
a
as much as a pet is.
A free entity. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, no, pets are free entities, my
No,
friend.
he's an NPD.
Non-playable doy? What does that mean?
Non-player dude. Like, he's not a character.
We
He's
have
not
a term
NPC.
for that. It's called NPC,
Yeah.
not NPD.
No, he's
I
more
think-
than an NPC, but he's less than a main character.
Is Yoshi a pet? Put it down in the comments below.
Put it down in the comments, and also, if you don't know what
Email
I'm talking
us.
about when I'm talking about KOs, we don't have anything in common,
No.
so don't talk to me.
Oh, okay. Those are our pets. All of those video game pets are over there like, pick me, while good boy Yoshi is over there smiling, thinking, no, it's gonna be me. Like in our retro game of the week.
That's insane.
No.
NSYNC, get to the show.
Overview.
Dear listener, what's your problem? Because, yes, we are recording an episode about this, but you clicked on this
Yeah.
episode knowing what the title is.
That's crazy.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, you
need help.
actively participated in this process, and we were stuck doing it.
Close now, and you'll be fine. You can. There's still time.
There's not many podcasters that tell you to stop immediately, turn
out.
back, but
Turn back.
but we're doing that for this episode because the game that we played for the last 7 days and all of us put in ample amount of time and effort playing it this week is called none other than NSYNC, Get to the Show. What? You didn't know that NSYNC put out their very own game with all their blood, sweat, and tears, that they worked on the development process?
Michael Jackson.
They had nothing to do with this game.
Oh, please, Kenny. They were all over this game. This
False.
2001 Game Boy Color, best system.
God.
And genre, minigame collection, or something
Yeah.
like what genre? Action? I mean, action adventure?
I don't know what those games
Don't-
are called, where it's a bunch of mini games, but that's what it
Minigame
is.
collection. That's
Sure.
just what we're gonna. Yeah.
Sure.
Fan fodder slop is the genre.
Well,
That sounds hot.
hot.
It was developed by
Damn,
Stunt.
this guy.
It was developed by Stunt Puppy Entertainment and
it was.
published by Infogrames. We brought this up at the end of last week's episode. We've heard of Infogrames before, although I looked up the list. They have their hand in a few titles, but they are like a worldwide publisher after it had already been published in like a couple of different other places. But they did have I don't remember if they were the developer or publisher, but Alone in the Dark was a game we played like for episode 50 something. It was one of those like I think
It's a point
text-based
click, yeah?
adventures. Yeah, point and click.
Maybe.
Yeah, or it was either point and click or like you type a little command. Maybe it was
Yeah.
point and click, one of the
It was
early
old.
ones.
That was Infogrames.
And then Kudelka, which that one would maybe be a little more recent and familiar to you. They published Kudelka, I believe.
Weird, dude.
Yeah. So I knew that we had
It's
heard it
all over the
before.
place.
Kudelka, I want to make sure. So they developed by Saknoth, published in Japan by SNK, and worldwide, by Infogrames. So they
Okay.
they have their hand in a few things. We've heard of them before, but they are not what I would say maybe the most established or prolific of developers or publishers.
Yeah, this ain't no Konami or Capcom or any number
No.
of
Speak
other
for yourself.
developers.
No,
And speak for me.
And I will say that there is no Wikipedia page. We don't always rely on Wikipedia for our information, but there's not even the other pages. So this week, in our Discord, when we announce the game of the week, we usually have a link to the Wikipedia page or some other identifying page for the game. This week, we used mobygames.com because they have a little page for it, but there's really no information here. They've got a few screenshots. I mean, it's the most that you're going to find online. Yeah. They actually have the list of people we need to be mad at, from senior producer, product manager, executive producer, the test lead, and everybody else. But
the test lead in particular.
That is that's the page we went from this week for all of our information.
Let me stop you there. What shirt are you wearing?
My NSYNC shirt.
Oh, you got me. I thought I saw Nick Carter.
No, this is I don't have an NSYNC shirt, so I wore a Backstreet shirt, which in the early 2000s would have been a sin to do.
Cuz you were a Backstreet boy.
I was a Backstreet boy.
Yeah.
And although I appreciated both, although I thought Backstreet Boys were the ones that had the most talent, NSYNC just had the moves.
That's kind of true. But it's a turf war too, because I think people think the opposite. Some people think the opposite.
Oh, for sure, sure. I talked with my wife this week. She was a neither nor. She was a Spice Girls fan. Were your spouses like, what was did they have a pop group asphyxiation? Nope,
not them. Asphyxiation.
None of those three.
Maybe Spice Girls. Out of those three, she would have gone Spice Girls, not NSYNC or Backstreet. There's no connection there. She doesn't care.
And those aren't the only groups, obviously. Kenny?
I wasn't cool enough to know about any of those groups. My wife was absolutely their target demographic, and it worked on
NSYNC.
All of them. Name. You know.
Lance Bass.
Sure.
I mean, that's one of the guys in NSYNC. Wow.
In NSYNC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's actually go through the list. People in our Discord and YouTube and everything wanted to know this week.
Okay.
Which of the quintuplet, is that it right?
Quintuplet. Yeah.
That our wives thought we were. I know you didn't ask.
No.
And
I did ask her. I did ask her about her favorites.
Okay, that's fine too.
But that's not
because that would be you, because you're her favorite.
Oh no, I mean of the boys in NSYNC, not of people on Earth.
So the members of this pop boy band from the late 90s, early 2000s are Chris Kirkpatrick, who actually started the group.
What?
JC don't know who that
Chazes.
Which one is that? Described by their hair.
This is going to be rough. No, all their hair is the same.
Ramen.
Right, Chris Kirkpatrick is the shortest one that has a goatee and dark hair and earrings. Okay. And then you've got JC Chazes, Chazes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Chazes.
He was actually the real talent. Most people think it was Justin, but JC was kind of like the pretty boy. Okay. Joey Fatone is always the slightly bigger one, but he also often has a goatee and darker hair. And then you've got Justin Timberlake, which you know who that is, correct?
I do know who that is.
Okay. I definitely know who that is.
And then you've got Lance Bass, who...
He's the manly one.
So I wouldn't say that.
Probably not.
Relative to all the others?
No.
There was only one of them that had facial... Oh, no. The facial hair was
the first
one that you already said.
And that he looks like... Who's the
Should I just pull up a picture?
Guy?
I'm not going to Google this.
The guy with
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Yeah, that's him.
No one looks like him.
That's true. That is true. But if anyone were to look like him, it's that first guy you said, who I've never heard his name before. The only famous ones that... Yeah, that's not real. Justin Timberlake survived.
Correct.
Lance Bass survived, but not because of talent. And then Joey Fatone is known.
Whoa.
Or Fatone, they talk about him, but I've never heard the other names in my life.
I got a social media today, like video that crossed my screen today that was Chris Kirkpatrick dancing with a group in a mall. He's
Recently?
like on a mall stage. Yeah, on a mall stage doing a show. He's still trying to make money.
He
off
has
of
never
those things.
left the
Which-
early 2000s.
Hey, go for it. Listen.
Sure.
Go for it. It's what
Sure.
you've been doing your whole life. You don't have to stop now. Although the band is over, they do have a few things that help create their legendary status. One of them is this game, NSYNC Get to the Show. Here's the story behind it. It's straight from the manual. It's another stop at the NSYNC tour, and you're in charge. From running errands to helping the guys warm up before the show, the band depends on you to keep things in control. Prove you've got what it takes, and you can run the whole concert.
Compelled.
Listen, that makes it sound so much better than it actually is. The way it unrolls in the game is like, "Hey, you're our biggest fan. As thanks, we're gonna have you run all our annoying errands."
Do my laundry.
Yeah.
This is
It's
fanfic.
so like it's so weirdly manipulative. It's
Yep.
preteen girl fanfic self-insert, but poorly done. It's just awful. Quick reminder that the New Game Plus podcast is entirely supported by your contributions on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can support your favorite retro gaming podcast and also get really cool perks like early access first plays, 2 entries into Patreon pools, unedited episodes. All kinds of cool stuff is on there. If you want to check it out, all you got to do is head on over to patreon.com/NGP podcasts. We so appreciate your support.
Gameplay.
If I was a fan of NSYNC, my favorite thing to do would be anything with them, which is convenient because that's the variety of things that this game sort of tries to make you do. It was a terrible sentence. Here's what I'm trying to say. This game is a hodgepodge of stuff.
He just
That's
rated
the
his
genre.
sentence.
Yeah, there's no
Hodgepodge.
like one single thing that you do. You jump in and at first you're what, driving around a limo?
Well, first you introduce yourself to the boys.
That's true.
You have to let it be known that you are a fan.
Yeah, I thought I was just like choosing which. This is hilarious. I
thought
thought
I
I
was
was.
gonna play
I
as
don't
them.
know. I thought I was choosing which NSYNC member I was going to be, but no,
Same.
you were choosing which one you were going to be BFFs with,
Yeah,
and
Right.
then
That's
you
kinda
needed to
weird.
put in your own name. This is an RPG, and then you role played as.
Don't say that. Well,
Then you role played as their number one fan, and that's the NSYNC member that was with you throughout the rest of the game.
yeah, there's more actual role play here
Okay.
than a lot of RPGs.
So
I-
who did you go on this adventure with?
Joey.
Adventure? Fatone?
That one.
Who did you go with, Kenny?
I'm basic. I just went with JT.
But the world
Oh
tour.
wow, he calls him JT.
Yeah,
He's on
course.
an initial basis.
yeah.
I also stuck with Justin, like I selected in my first play. But yes,
Overrated.
after you select your, and you're right, after you select your member, you do chores for them. The first is, the game is called Limo Race, but you
Race.
become
Right.
the immediate thing is, oh, you're our biggest fan. Okay, drive our limo
Yep.
we need to get to this tunnel in time. And on the
Right.
way, we're going to need to make stops. Like,
Flowers?
someone's going to need to stop by a flower shop. Someone's going to need to stop at the bowling alley. Someone's going to need to stop and get fuel. You know, like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Never
Also,
mind
they-
if you have a driver's license or not. Just get in the car.
Yeah,
drive me.
just
I
just
gotta
get
get
in the car and drive. And it's called Limo Race. It's not a race.
No.
You're not
Yeah, you're
racing
not racing.
anybody.
The clock.
time.
Yeah, I guess. Despair. You
Ooh,
know,
that's
you,
deep.
Yeah.
Like,
You're racing against time.
Yeah, and while you're driving, at the very bottom of the screen, one of the boys will say, "I need this. I would love to go bowling right now." You know, something like that. And then you've got to drive, and there's pit stops along the way. You don't stop at all of them, but when they're asking for one, you stop there.
Can we talk about the layout of this town that you're driving through? Because there's nothing.
I don't think it's meant to be realistic.
There's like some roads with some hand-drawn trees and or cactuses, depending on which version of the limo race you're doing.
There's cacti.
And you're going one direction. Hey,
Whoa!
different band.
You know them, Kenny?
Yeah, of course I know them. I mean, I know they exist. I couldn't tell you one of their songs if my life depended on it. And you're driving around the block.
New Kids on the Block.
Exactly.
That's another
Whoa!
one.
Wait.
Now I'm the
gotta
the
get
band
one.
is in the back seat while you're on the street. I got nothing. I'm not forcing this. You're driving and all of the roads just split off, and then they keep going, and then they split off again. It doesn't make sense. Physically, this town couldn't exist. It's like some kind of physics-defying anomaly.
Well,
And I don't know. It's bad.
it exists in MS Paint because that's where it was derived. I'll tell you that much.
The next mini game that you play is called Hotel Havoc, and
Probably the
boys
most
are
insane
trying-
one, honestly.
the boys are trying to sleep, and you've got to keep the noise down because you're their biggest fan. So while they're trying to sleep, you have to like move your cursor around this grid. Is it a 4x4 grid?
No,
It's
it's
a 3x3.
3x3.
It's windows in a building, which also makes no
Oh.
sense.
If they wake up,
I thought it was
you
beds.
and it's their face, you have to get to their face, put the cursor on their face, and press one of the buttons to lull them back to sleep. If
Creepy already.
if there's something in the hotel making noise, you need to get your cursor onto that item, press the different button,
Yep.
and
Eliminate
eliminate that
Handle
noise.
it.
Eliminate it, yeah. In one
You know-
case, you're like gently putting them back to bed, which is already so problematic. And in the other case, you're killing
Oh, would
cats
you-
and dogs and phones and babies. Like,
Whoa.
Was that you snapping a neck?
no, it was me making a you took them out noise generally. But
See,
kind
in
of
my
same
mind,
premise.
this fan is shooting them.
So I didn't go either of there in my fanfic. I don't know what y'all were doing this
I was
week.
writing my own this week. By the way, were y'all a new fan? Whatever.
Our
stupid thing.
difficulties?
True fan.
New fan, true fan, or super fan?
Yeah, I was a new fan.
Of course.
They
I bumped it
didn't
up
have
one
my
level.
option on there.
Oh, Kenny was a true fan.
I was a true fan.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
What does
that
it
just
change?
changes like the timing, like the timers.
Yeah,
Probably
or
makes it shorter.
certain amounts you have to collect to be successful,
Oh.
or maybe how fast it goes. I don't think this game ever gets challenging, so I don't actually know what the metric is there.
Hopefully it doesn't up the number of rounds because I cannot believe that it made me play that whole Hotel Havoc game 5 rounds in a row. And it's timed, so you were having to play the full like 2 minutes out, and so playing 5 times, that's 10 minutes of your life wasted.
Yeah, here's
Well-
the thing about a mini game. They're supposed to be mini, not just
Yeah.
in like being simple, but also being in like bite size.
Yeah.
This game not only made you play any of the games that you played multiple times in a row, literally 5 times in a row, but it also made them so long.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
each round that you were playing was like, okay, you were done at like second 10 and now you got to play minutes upon minute. It's infuriating.
Well, when you think about what you're doing, it's not much of a game at all. So they had to, like, it's essentially whack-a-mole for the Hotel Havoc one, kind
Yeah.
of.
Kind
but,
of.
like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not a game. Moving a cursor and tapping a button, so they just made it longer to make it feel like a game, in my opinion.
Well, they did have to pad it out a little bit because you only have, what do you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini games in this game, and each of them should be able to be done in 30 seconds to a minute. But
The replayability,
Right,
though.
They didn't want
No.
their whole game to be a sub
Yeah.
5-minute experience.
yeah, exactly. So they needed to make multiple rounds. They needed to make the timer longer, and the game is worse for it for sure.
Yeah,
No, the
and
replayability
Limbo,
by choosing a different boy to be
that's
a fan
true.
of.
You can choose.
That is not
It
replayability.
is, bro.
You can
It's
play it on
literally
a harder mode. You can be an even bigger fan, and you can have a different face come up and talk to you and boss you around
Thank
for
you
all
for
of their
what you do.
Uh,
nonsense.
The third minigame is called Burger Craze, guys. It's just
Golly.
getting better. This is what it says in game. This is what it says in the manual. The guys are jet lagged and hungry. They want burgers for breakfast, and so it is your task. This is crazy. I don't even know what game to compare it to. I'm sure there's like an Atari game, like an old Atari game that's almost identical. But you are, I don't know, you're this figure on the screen that is moving left and right, catching burger condiments that are falling from the sky. Some of them are strings of mustard. Some of them are strings of ketchup. You've got lettuce, bread, maybe meat. So you can't tell what all of them are. But
Sausages.
you have to, based on the boys' orders, you have to catch them in the right order. I don't understand why Lance always wanted a cheese and mustard burger.
They're
but
divas.
I gave it to him.
They're
No,
divas.
can we talk about that reality? Because the game is already infuriating. Like, you're just walking back and forth as stuff falls and catching it. Like, it's already simple and terrible. But the fact that these burgers were put together in absolutely nonsensical orders
Yeah,
made
right,
me
it's crazy.
so mad. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a superstar pop diva man. If you put your condiments in the middle of your burger instead of between your bun and all of the other ingredients, there is something wrong with you. And this game had no respect for what a burger is. And I don't even know why that's what I'm complaining about, because there's nothing
No,
else
it's
to
important.
complain about. No, it is. It's unhinged.
Then get off the tour bus. There's 100 of you waiting to be
You mean the limo.
Justin's the limo to be Justin's right hand man. So you can't hang.
Burger Builder.
Burger Craze.
I'm not gonna
And you know
leave
what?
because I'm here to serve Justin, first of all, and second of all, Kenny, I do agree with you. And not to get philosophical, but is it still a burger if there's no burger meat on the burger? Is it not just then a
course not.
sandwich or something like?
It's
because
not even
some
a
of these
sandwich.
didn't have meat on it.
Yeah, see, that one's tricky for me because it's context specific. If you're at a burger place and you just order a burger without the patty, like, maybe
burger.
you're just an awful person, and it's
Whoa.
arguable that it because you're missing it. I'm being judgmental here.
You know what?
But maybe it's a bad burger, but I don't know, maybe it's not.
Why did they specify breakfast? Burgers aren't for breakfast. You didn't have to like say that because there's no like bigger plot where like they needed breakfast. They were just like for
didn't have to.
breakfast also.
Of all of the popular foods that you could choose to eat for breakfast, they chose burgers. If you want leftover pizza for breakfast in the morning, you know what? I'm not vibing with it, but I'll give it to you. It's a thing. Like, people do it.
No, I won't get
A
it.
burger makes no sense. None.
Did we say
But
it's
then
falling
you-
from the sky?
It's falling.
Yeah,
from
we
the
said
sky.
it's falling.
Okay,
from the
okay,
sky.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what happens at normal burger joints.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the things that are you have to catch it all.
Yeah.
You know, it's normal.
But you got like ketchup and then cheese and then lettuce and then your
After
meat.
you've done all the silly stuff, we get serious because we are at the show backstage and we've got to do in game. One of the boys, Justin in my case, said we have a special luck thing we do and we can't skip it. And so then what you need to do with them, because they can't skip it, is play a few rounds, 5 rounds of you gonna believe this? Hacky sack. What you're doing is you are in a circle with the boys, kicking a hacky sack ball back and forth.
This is not
Let's-
fake, by the way.
Let's specify, though. They don't say we play a lucky game of warm-up hacky sack. That would be weird and lame, but maybe given the era that these guys were popular,
Yeah.
on the way out from being culturally relevant, but at least understandable. But they don't say we're going to play around a hacky sack. They play we're going to play kick the sack.
That is not
say
what
that?
they say.
That's how it's referred to in the
my
game.
God.
Yep.
I don't remember that.
That just
Yep.
must be what your Justin told you.
Yeah,
Maybe.
wait, yeah. Oh, his fanfic went a different direction than mine.
Very
I did
different.
not see kick the sack.
All you're
That's
doing is
crazy.
holding a direction of which of the boys you want to kick it to, and then A and or B, whichever button you choose. One is a short kick and one is a long kick, and you just kind of have to time it correctly to keep the rhythm going. I don't even know how you really lose that one, but it's Yeah, but it's also 5 rounds, and so you're kicking.
Right.
Now I think this one's 1 minute apiece, so it's not as bad, but still bad.
Oh,
Still, it takes
okay.
a few seconds to kick the sack to all of the different the 5
saying
members that are standing there. That's how the game talks about it.
Um,
It's called hacky the sack.
That's your goal, is to hacky the sack to each band member once.
That might be worse.
If you accomplish that, you're done. That takes this long.
I don't know if I knew that.
I just Googled because I was like, this is too random.
Oh no.
Yes, NSYNC famously
for
played
sure.
hacky sack as a pre-show ritual throughout their career. I've never
Yeah, but
touched
I'm
a
not
hacky
gonna-
sack. What is it? What even is that?
No, listen.
It's before your time.
I mean,
Nolan.
I know what it is, but like I've never
Oh, okay.
been in the same proximity as a hacky sack.
Yeah. Out of
Oh.
all things, I'm not gonna give them trouble on that one. It was an era, and it's a thing to do, and it was keeping them out of hard drugs, guys.
Oh, it was like
Dude,
80%
NSYNC
of
for sure did drugs.
80% of my identity in middle school was
Hard
hacky sack.
drugs.
What does Joey look like now?
Oh no! Did you hear that, Nolan? It actually explains a lot. 80% of Kenny's identity in high school.
In middle school. No, in middle school.
All
In
right.
middle school.
Was what?
Did you play Pogs?
Playing hacky sack. Absolutely. That was 4th and 5th grade. 4th grade. 4th
Still got
grade
your
was Pogs.
slammers?
No, I wish. I had some
Nolan, did-
sick ones.
Nolan, did you just Google search was NSYNC into hard drugs?
No, I Google searched what does Joey Fatone look like now.
Why?
Because-
He looks just
well-
like he used to look.
Yeah, he looks fine. I was just talking about. I was thinking like one of them for sure did hard drugs, and it was probably Justin. Wait, don't sue me for
I don't know about
defamation.
hard
I'm
drugs.
just kidding.
Oh yeah. Say
Meme.
what's that word that keeps you out of like getting in trouble?
Meme in game. He did drugs in game.
I was meaning the real word of allegedly, but yeah.
Oh,
In The Sims. Okay, and then after all of that hard work, you are finally at the show. In fact, it's showtime. That's the final mini game, I guess. I don't think this is even a mini game. It's just
It's not even a game.
it's a victory
it's
run.
not.
So music is playing. I think one of your button changes the track. One of your, maybe it's directional buttons, makes all the boys dance in sync. And one of the directional buttons makes your lead character that you've selected dance by himself. And then at some point, maybe this was available at the whole time, but another button makes it to where you can change the lights.
Spotlights.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So, like,
you
they've
change the
hired
lights
you
and
At this
one
point,
other thing.
you're on the team, the production team, and you have successfully become their #1 fan, even though you
Yep.
already were at the beginning.
Real-time
literally just
real-time choreography
Manipulation at its finest.
and yeah.
What does he
These are
say
the
at the
things
end?
you did for them. You drove their car. You put them back to sleep. You made them food. You hacky sacked with them, and then you ran their production. Really, what you did was like give them free labor for a day.
Actually, you do get a shout out at the end to their #1 fan, air quotes.
But is it from the stage, or do they just tell you that behind the curtains?
Wait,
No, I think it's from the
it is,
stage.
but I don't know. Well, yeah, it is because
I
they're
think
like
it
we'd
is.
like to give a special thank you to this person.
Oh yeah.
But was it worth it? That's what you have to ask yourself at the end of the day. For me, yes.
I feel like there are some artists out there that you would do that day for, Nolan.
David Lynch, easily.
Okay, so I was talking about musical artists, but that's fine too, I guess.
He made music. Musical artists I would actually do that for. Probably. I don't know if I would.
And I'm a sucker. I would do it for anyone who asks.
He does it
For free.
He's gonna do it on NSYNC's reunion tour. is
Yeah,
what he's gonna do. They're
I
gonna hit
will-
all the malls.
I will become their biggest fan, and I will create
is ahead of the
unhinged
curve.
burgers as their breakfast, and then put them to bed ever so gently.
The one thing that I missed here, I got all of the other NSYNC experience here, but the one thing that I missed here, not game wise, but in the Spice World video game that we played, that was our most recent pop star video game
Sure.
genre that we played.
The fact that we
Yeah.
have more than
they-
one is depressing.
They had a whole DVD experience where you were able to like watch some of their footage and do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I know we're on Game Boy Color, so maybe it would be a different experience.
Special features.
But I didn't feel like I got anything truly in sync here. There wasn't any music that made me think this is in sync. There wasn't even the like images themselves, other than the character portraits, didn't even look like anything. You're not doing anything in sync.
We're talking even their concert, the moment that everything has led up to is like some generic video game music. Unless these are NSYNC deep tracks that I don't know, and they did a terrible job converting them. I don't think they could. I'm sure they never could have afforded it, but like, you're doing the licensing deal. You have permission from these people to use their likeness. The fact that you can't also get their music, even if it's poorly done and comes out kind of generic because it's Game Boy Color speakers, means you have literally missed the one assignment. It's the one thing they do. It's the one thing they're famous for that people will recognize or know. I mean, that and you know, looking like heartthrobs, and on that front, you've got the most unhinged splash screen that makes them look like, I don't even do you guys remember that art when it first comes up? His eyes are like this. Oh no, art is generous. It's like a 5-year-old was given a mouse and MS Paint and told to like make these guys. It's so.
I mean, there's very little thought that went into it. So much so that on the performance stage at the end, 2 of the character models are identical. They went to the trouble of like making them all look fairly unique. But the 2 in the back is the same models.
Yep.
So who's who?
Yeah.
Don't know.
That's got it. One of them's got to be Kirkpatrick.
One of them is the other one's Guy Fieri. Duh. I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's them in the back.
You wouldn't actually believe it, but the guy on the left, it's gonna be me.
Okay.
Aged.
Let's start here. The Game Boy Color is a piece of trash, and honestly, the Game Boy, for that matter, it's the same thing. It's just colorized, aged quite poorly across the board. You guys do know the Game Boy Color is a Game Boy that has color on it.
Yes, and my argument is that it largely makes those games worse.
Probably.
But I think the color,
at least.
yes, makes it far uglier than in. I think there is something artistic about the very limited color palette, if you can even call it that, for the Game Boy. And while it does age, I'll give you that it does age for sure. There are some classic games on there, and they were able to do a lot with so little. When you colorize it, it brings out all of the imperfections, and it brings out all out. I'm sure there's a game or two someone can point to that did it well, but the majority of them just makes it so much uglier.
Well, here's my theory. The Game Boy Color, being a glorified Game Boy, extended the lifespan of that handheld. So you ended up with people trying to make games for that console that shouldn't have been made for that console. They thought they could get away with it. You have exceptions, like the Zelda Oracle games, I think are very good. That's Game Boy Color.
Isn't there a Pokemon era that did color? And I think that could work.
It's simple and did fine.
You definitely should have seen a hardware jump and like some more innovation there for it to be the next generation of handhelds, and it kind of just wasn't. And I think you both are completely right there.
We even have a like a surprise hit on the Game Boy Color on the podcast called Samurai Kid. We loved, very impressive game. That was
Did that one
Game
never
Boy
make
Color.
it out of Japan?
That might be right.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Samurai Kid? I can tell you real quick. Oh, Samurai Kid.
As he Googles.
Well, does it not have a Wikipedia page? No, it's one of
might
those that doesn't.
Game Boy Color games did.
I think it was a Japan-only game. I can't. I'm not being able to tell right now.
It's just not. It's not a great console to play, even after 2000 and whatever. Whenever the GBA came out, like it just became obsolete.
Ago. Yeah.
2000.
GBA was the better jump, obviously.
That was the jump, yeah.
And no one's arguing, but that changed the game entirely. we've talked about it already, but it's worth bringing up in the aged section that both the graphics, which we've talked about some already, and the music are both absolutely garbage.
Some of the worst.
And
Yes.
Kenny and I have complained about it. Nolan may have mentioned it too, but like, I'm just gonna restate. If there's one thing that's needed in an NSYNC video game, I would even say more than the boys of NSYNC themselves.
Yep.
Are NSYNC tracks, music.
Yep.
And there is not that. And so what are we doing here? We are doing things that no one associates with NSYNC other than maybe Hacky Sack.
Which that was a fun fact for me. I didn't even know that.
Fun fact.
There's no identity to it. You're right.
No,
The
no
logo
It
is
could be
in the
any
top
other
right.
game.
It says NSYNC. That's not even to call it a logo. It just says NSYNC in like pixelated text. It's so bad. The stars that are on the HUD
I'm so glad you hate these.
aren't even symmetrical. Like they couldn't
No.
even
For real?
bother. They're just
real?
objects. They're just.
It's the most unhinged stars I've ever seen in my life.
Dustin, look
It
at it
was
right
the thing
now.
I wanted to talk about the most.
It looks like.
It's not hard to make a star.
I mean, everything in the game, seriously, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to insult the game or the artist. It actually looks like a kid opened up MS Paint and drew grass and the road and a car, and they left it as such. That's it. That's what it looks like.
You could try to argue that that's intentional, and I don't think you should. And I agree
no.
with you that it's all garbage, but we need to be very clear. And sometimes we account for this in ways that are unfair, and sometimes this is a game for a very specific audience. Nolan loves to say this is a game for babies. This is not a game for babies. This is a game for, like, I don't know, 8 to 9-year-old girls who are fans of NSYNC and literally like the smallest demographic. It's a kids game, but a poorly made one, but it looks like it was made by kids and not for kids. And that's not even an excuse, but it's worth just pointing out that, like, they knew who their audience was and they didn't respect that. They just took advantage of that fact and shipped hot garbage.
So 8-year-olds are driving limos and putting
Right.
NSYNC boys down to sleep.
They are fan fictioning that they want to be that person. That's always
But
how
that's
that
not-
works.
So,
with
so
that
we have an
stuff.
issue then, because what are we talking about?
But I don't think many 8-year-olds were thinking at home, what I want to do to NSYNC is make them burgers for breakfast.
What if it's a kid? It at least sort of makes sense. I don't even know.
man.
I feel like it's supposed to be a kids game, but I don't know if it is. I know we've whined about every other bad thing too. Can we talk about the writing? The little bit of dialogue you get of these band members speaking to you is also abysmal.
It's Lynchian.
Wait, don't say that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah,
it's bad, but it's like for 8-year-olds is what we're saying. So I mean, it's
Right, but then poorly
Communicates to
done
them.
as well.
I think this is their words. I think, like you said earlier, they were involved, and this is what they would
each
have
wrote,
said.
They each wrote their own script.
Yes.
Did,
Also, this is an inconsistency that I have to point out that I should have earlier. For the Burger Craze game, the character that's catching them is the boy. It's not
it's
you.
one of them.
He's got a goatee. It's not the kid.
It's an
So-
8-year-old girl playing the game.
You're just telling them to go left or right, is what.
Yeah, somebody has to.
and it's Chris Kirkpatrick. All right. Speaking of aged, I don't know if you could tell, but the NSYNC member that you picked that is communicating throughout the game, according to the manual, is communicating to you via pager.
What are you talking about?
So they're not actually
No.
verbally speaking to you. They are communicating
That's
through
canon?
their pager to you.
Pager
it's
is
in
canon.
the manual.
They can't even speak to you directly.
They're
You're
just
so
Pager is
beneath-
canon
You're
is
so
crazy.
beneath them as a band
Isn't that wild?
that they're paging their limo driver.
Yeah. Their 8-year-old limo driver.
This is
It's
just child
so-
labor.
It's so bad.
I mean, there's no other way to
So,
look
so
at it.
bad.
It's really, really good.
The only thing that has aged well about this game, and by aged well, I simply mean has been a factor in how the game has aged,
I can't
is
even guess.
the popularity of the band. They were popular. They have stayed popular.
Wrong.
Not as much as Backstreet Boys, but they were a big enough band that they became part of the cultural zeitgeist. People know who they are. If you mention, I did this week because I thought it was ridiculous. People were like, hey, what are you playing for your podcast? And it's like, oh, an NSYNC game. And everybody knew who I was talking about.
Sure.
If you grew up then?
Even if you didn't, that's what I'm saying.
No, they died, bro.
The popularity of the band is big enough to theoretically give the title legs, but that doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything.
Is this true? Dustin would know more because he's into this.
Wow.
I think NSYNC and Backstreet Boys walked so K-pop could run.
Yes, but also
Sort of.
NSYNC and Backstreet Boys weren't the first
Right.
group
Oh,
bands.
well, no.
But they certainly popularized it in a large way in North America for sure, and worldwide in some regards. I mean, they were massive. Like they were the center of everything. I do think, though, I wonder, Kenny, if you ask, I don't know, Jen very young today, who Justin Timberlake is, they might know him from the Trolls soundtrack. I think that's where they're going to know him. But maybe Gen Z and up are going to know him from "You're gonna ruin the tour" meme. But other than that,
what are we gonna do about the world tour?
I don't know if they're gonna be able to connect him to NSYNC. Maybe NSYNC and Backstreet Boys are just those names that are just going to be there for a while.
They're gonna know of them, like we knew of some of the biggest artists in the 70s, even though we didn't live in that era and couldn't tell you anything about them.
Yeah. I looked it up. It's hard to find. There are 2 other NSYNC video games, which is actually a great thing that they didn't make more.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Okay.
This was the biggest of them, the one that we played. We're probably not going to play any others. They're not on the list. NSYNC Hotline Fantasy Phone is one of them.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
So no on that one. No.
And there was a CD-ROM game, is how it was identified by. I couldn't even figure out what the name of the game was, but
that's lost media, probably, dude.
If you download that Hotline game, that sounds like a pretty CD-ROM.
You know what? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad that
pretty good.
Glad that I cut that. No, it wasn't. It's not 2 games. It's 1 game, and it is called NSYNC Hotline Fantasy Phone and CD-ROM game. That's the name of the game.
No.
Actually. Yes.
I can't even believe.
And I think 8-year-old might be too old. The picture of these girls on the front of this look more like, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Okay,
That's
stop.
Insane.
We're done.
The game is a phone. It's like a little digital phone that you're able to play the game.
Oh, that's
kind
of cool.
Call your favorite pop singer
kind of
and then have a conversation with them. Yeah, that does not age
Yikes,
well.
dude. What were they thinking?
Wonder if there's mods for that. If you want a copy of NSYNC Get to the Show for your Game Boy Color, you're fine. It's not going to cost you much. People don't want this.
You're fine.
$5 loose, $13 complete in box, but you can also just pay $13 for a new copy.
You could
That's
probably
so affordable.
Find someone that has it and they'll pay you to take it off their hands.
It's that cheap. I would have thought it was going to be high because no one had this or has it.
Do you think anyone owns more than 1 copy?
I'm sure some collector somewhere.
Final thoughts.
At the end of each and every one of our episodes, we determine whether or not the game gets our vote for New Game Plus status, which is our general thumbs up or thumbs down. It does require 2/3 of the vote to swing one way or the other. Kenny, what did you think about NSYNC Get to the Show? And build the tension before you give the answer.
Okay, you're right. Let me describe my thoughts to you before I come to a final conclusion, because it's maybe people aren't sure about where we're going to land here. Yeah, absolutely not. I will go on to No, I'm just not even going to talk too long. We've already made all the terrible jokes. I've already made fun of all of the awful things that are the things I want to make fun of. I'm just not going to rehash it. This is an actual contender for the worst game we've ever played. Yes, I think easily. Now, the argument is there. We could get into the weeds. I think certainly top 3, maybe top 5, but I would say maybe the single worst game that we have played. And I cannot oversell how badly they missed the mark on this one. This game doesn't even deserve me to talk about it anymore.
Is that a no?
That's a yes. That's a no.
Nolan, what did you think?
For video games based around a fandom for famous singers or like pop culture people, I do think you can make a game that is acceptable. I think we've played one that's acceptable. Mary
Agreed.
Kate and Ashley games, while meme worthy and not good, are something. And
Serviceable for the
Sure.
people. Yeah.
And I think, at the time when those came out, serviceable is a good word for it, and the fans were happy. This one, I'm going to go back to what I said about Game Boy Color. People were trying to develop games for that system that were out of scope for that console. And this game wouldn't have worked on any console. It's offensively bad. It's harsh on the eyes, harsh on the ears, has nothing to do with NSYNC really, and is weird. You're working for them, and I just don't know. I really don't know who it's for. I think Kenny said he thinks he knows the demographic. I don't, because it's just stupid, okay? And of course you shouldn't play it, and very funny to whoever added it to the list. Very funny, okay? Received. We played it. Haha. No NGP.
I also think it's a really bad game. Not the worst we played. Probably makes it into the top 10 or bottom 10, if that's how you'd see it, of worst games that we played. But, and again, I think sometime soon we should do a list of, we should each bring our top 10 worst games that we played on the podcast and compare and contrast. But it's a bad game. The guys have said it. It's not even serviceable for the fans because there's nothing. You could replace the boys of NSYNC in this with any other thing, with dinosaurs, and it's almost the same game other than the concert at the end. But even that doesn't scream NSYNC. There's very few things. Play that phone game instead. If you can get the phone where you can call them, I bet that is more fun and more NSYNC coded than this one. This is a bad game, and it's tearing up my heart when it's with me. So I do not give it my vote for New Game Plus status, which means NSYNC get to the show. Just a bad idea. Get to the show. That's what. Anyways, NSYNC get to the show is not New Game Plus certified. But what did you think? On our YouTube poll, 6% said yes because they're trolling, right?
Yeah, it's very funny. Haha.
Okay. 20% said no, go play something else, which is woefully low, but it's not bad because 74% have never played it before.
And you're welcome to all 74% of you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
If that changed this week because we had a podcast and you wanted to play along, in this case, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we don't usually apologize, but it'll get better.
And there were many that played along with us this week, sent in their thoughts on NSYNC Get to the Show. Here are a few quick ones. Flea said, the first play was enough for me to not even bother touching this one. Smart. Harold said, I never realized Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC. So I got that wisdom out of this week, I guess. Sin Doctor said, this is one of the most confused things ever made. Like, for real, what is this? No NGP. Yep. Flumbus said, NGP get to the no.
Correct.
Nice.
Tens said, never play this if you want to keep your peace. And the letters are capitalized throughout to spell NSYNC.
Clever.
Okay.
And Garlisle just attached a picture of ramen noodles.
No one already made the reference, but yeah, the hair.
And then here's a few more. Supa Rubes said, "It's tearing up my heart that people are hating on this band, but if there's someone here to defend them, it's gonna be May. And I will never stop until y'all show them respect, but for now, I'll just say bye, bye, bye."
Well, sure. This game has nothing to do with the band.
Right.
You can love them all you want. I'm not going to give you flack for it. But you can't say a nice thing about this game, or I will lose all respect for you and your opinions about anything.
Shane said, "This game made me feel like I knew what purgatory feels like, just stacking burgers for minutes on end and not knowing when it would ever stop. Turtle gave me some hope thinking this would be another hidden gem like Samurai Kid. But nope, this is more along the lines of Mary-Kate and Ashley Magical Mystery Mall, and I felt a fool believing him. It's a mini-game collection based on a brand. Definitely don't need to play, no NGP from me."
Also, put some respect on Mary-Kate and Ashley Magical Mystery Mall.
Yeah, I was going to say way worse than that.
Not in the same breath as this game, please.
Finally, for now, Systematic said, "Well, after Kenny's first play on Jurassic Park, which had me laughing all the way through, we now have Dustin's first play on this hidden gem for retro gamers that are forced to play what the randomizer dictates. The look of utter disgust when Dustin finds out he'll be the driver, only for it to just become worse and worse. 5 rounds of pure torture? Just for the first play, it was already worth it. Can't wait for the episode. Oh, and the game? I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. No NGP. Get out that door. Baby, bye, bye, bye."
Yeah.
I will say I actually thought there would be more song reference puns from the community than there were. Not that there weren't many, but I expected it to be an overwhelming majority of responses, and I'm proud of the restraint that some of you showed.
For now and forever, we're going to set aside NSYNC Get to the Show, and we are going to randomly select the game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days, any genre, any console. Hopefully it's not a collection of mini games about a band that's not about a band. Randomizing now. We're going to be playing a game that came out in 2004 for the GameCube, the PlayStation 2, and the Xbox.
Right?
Yeah, could be very good or very bad.
There were also handheld versions of this game. That is not what we'll be playing this week. Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS.
That does concern me a little bit more, but we'll see. It could be fine, but that's a little concerning.
It is from an expansive series that still continues today.
Very promising. Usually promising.
It is the third from this franchise for consoles and the second not to be released for the PC.
Not to be released for the PC. I'm confused.
Weird,
What?
but okay. A kind of strange directional jump.
For the console versions of the game, the music group The Black Eyed Peas provided several musical scores which were translated into the language from this game. Ah!
Right. So pop
Alt
music
F4.
reference after all.
Do you know the language of this game?
Is it French?
No, but it's probably got some inspiration. It's its own language. It is not French. It is not Russian. It is not Spanish.
Oh.
It is Simlish.
It's Simlish. I thought it was Simish.
The game that we're going to be playing for the next 7 days is a 2004 life simulation video game developed by Maxis and published by Electronic Arts. It is called The Herbs Sims in the City.
The Herbs.
URBZ.
What?
What?
Yeah, this
What?
is... Okay. So, which version am I supposed to play?
I think that we can play any of the console versions. While there are differences, I'm sure they're going to be largely the same.
Have I heard of this?
All right.
The Herbs.
It's a Sims game. I'm sure you have.
Yeah, okay. I may have seen this.
Does this ring a bell? It takes place in Herbsville.
Ah, yes, Herbsville.
Yeah.
Console Sims doesn't sound good. I'm just going to say that.
I played a different console. The Sims Bustin' Out, I think is. The Sims busting out for the console, and I thought that it was a good, enjoyable game. So we'll see if the Herbs is. I'm sure that I played it before. Find a copy of the Herbs Sims in the City for the consoles and play it along with us this week.
Great.
Join us in Discord. If you go to discord.gg/NGP podcast, you will get an invite to be part of our community.
It's not every week that you're given the excuse to play a game that's the caliber of NSYNC Get to the Show. But we give you that excuse. And out of gratitude, I think you should head on over to patreon.com and support your favorite retro gaming podcast. You never would have found this game without us. You'll be joining folks like our director level supporters who truly go above and beyond. Sasser, Siegfried, thank you guys for your support so much. And you can also join at the producer level like so many of you do. You'll be joining the likes of Alex, Anton, and Artemis, Chuck, Austin, Scott, Band Nerd, Ben, Bro, Jim, Champagne, Vinaigrette, Craig, Dagny, Flombus, Garlisle, Harold, Hey Brother, Infinite Knife, J. Robert, Jake, Justin, Caldaka, Clint, Levi, Loser, Maxima, Megatroid, Miss Muso, Mystic, Not Enough Dog, Retro, Alex, Sajan, Scotty, Shane, Shauna, Snake Matic, Spinny the Jet, Swaggy Tacofish, Tibbs, Tim of the T, Tens, Unbedavable, Zachary, and Zion. We appreciate you more than you will ever know.
You can find us on our social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are in the show notes. Listen directly on any podcast provider of your choice. Make sure you subscribe so that you are the first to get new NGP episodes. And while you're at it, please leave a kind rating and review. Our episode artwork was created by our friend Dave. Our video episode was edited by our friend Dylan. Audio episode was edited and produced by our friend Dan Willett. Join us next week as we play the Herbs Sims in the City. And at least they have a Wikipedia. Until then, I'm still Justin.
I'm about to be Rosemary.
What does that mean? I'm one of the stars in the top corner of Get to the Show.
I do think it's Rosebud, Kenny. And this has been New Game Plus.